Welcome back to the channel. I feel like it's been ages since we've done a video like this.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, this is like our 1 year anniversary of living here.
Crikey.
I put like a question box up for people to ask us questions, and we would do a video of like our 1 year anniversary. So this is it. It's taken us a couple of weeks to get around to do it, actually, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's gone quicker, isn't it?
And it's evening time, kids are in bed, Sully's asleep on me, but it's just the only sort of time we have now, isn't it?
Yeah, like
At the minute.
an hour or two in the evening and that's it.
Yeah. So we thought we would answer some questions about stuff that you guys want to know and want to find out, and we'll answer them both and yeah, go from there.
Yeah, it's fire away.
Okay.
Quick round. I've had no evening coffee, so I'm tired.
I was going to say, we should have had a drink for the occasion and everything.
Should
Set
have.
up with a few little bickies.
She's got a new coffee machine.
I know. Tony got a bit excited the other day, and we're amateur coffee drinkers, really, aren't we?
I got an idea.
We drink iced lattes or hot lattes, that's literally it.
Yeah.
And you went out and got a coffee machine, and we've been doing little iced coffees at home.
Yeah,
But it's a bit too late now, isn't it, to have coffee?
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to go away with the questions. So someone said, how long did it take after you first moved for it to feel like home? What do you think?
I think for me it's quicker because I was back and forth. I was doing like every 2 to 3 weeks back and forth one night, so for me it felt quicker, I think. Because as soon as I was out here on my own, I just fell in love with it straight away.
Yeah, I feel like we all just settled in really, really quickly, really, didn't we? And it didn't feel like, I think because it was such a long process with doing the visa and everything, that when we were actually here and we actually arrived, it just felt like we belonged, we were at home, you know?
Yes.
Like, I
But
don't...
it's a bit weird though, because we come out here to start with for a little bit, and then we went back, and then it was like, right, we're moving straight away now.
Yeah, but
So didn't
I
really have
feel like...
in time in between to really
Well,
settle down and think about.
We were selling everything in the house in the UK and everything as well, weren't we? So it was like our house in the UK was just so empty that even didn't really feel like home anymore. So I feel like when we come here, we just instantly felt like at home. And I guess like home for me is just being with you guys. It's not necessarily a house, or like we could be anywhere in the world and it would feel home
together,
because we're together.
Yeah.
We're like besties.
I can't escape.
No, we're just so close, aren't we? And we spend so much time together that it's. I think like as long as we're together, we don't care where we are. But it's just great being in Florida, of course.
Just out here, you get to do a lot more stuff because when you're at home, you just sat around, don't you? Because it's raining quite a lot.
There's just not as much to do, is there? Like obviously, the advantage of being out here, you have the outdoor living, so there is more to do naturally because the weather, majority of the time, is nice.
It depends what you are like as a person, I think.
Yeah.
Whether you hold on to certain things at home, from home and whatnot.
Yeah, like I feel
we're quite easily, we can move.
Like
wherever.
I don't have attachment to things.
We're not tied to anything. Yeah, we don't know attachment.
We quite easily got rid of all our furniture, literally everything, didn't we?
Yes.
And it was actually really nice starting afresh out here, buying everything new and like.
Well, it's a lot easier because you see people that move all that stuff over and in containers and stuff, but you've got to wait months for it to come over, haven't you?
Yeah, but we also just didn't.
But then also
really
we looked at it as like it's a good way to actually declutter the rubbish that we don't need anymore. So
and
we
now we're
decluttered
just
all our stuff
accumulating it here.
Slowly, yeah.
Anyway, someone put, is it just what you imagined it would be or more living out here?
I think it's better, yeah.
I think it's kind of like how I imagine, but even better.
Yes.
Like we just love it, even the area we're in. Like we're just happy. We just love it. It's just for us. It seems perfect, doesn't it?
It's a perfect fit straight away, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I've not had one day where I thought about home.
No, I feel like
I don't really think about even going back to the UK.
No, I don't either. I think like occasionally we miss some of the foods, and we miss obviously like family members.
Yeah,
but
they're the only two things
that
that you'd think about is the food, because it's your home comforts what you used to for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And they don't have it out here, and family and friends, but that's about it really.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but you got, especially these days, maybe back in 15, 20 years ago, or 20 years ago, it's really different because you didn't have so much tools that you do now to be able to like FaceTime
and
whatever,
stuff, WhatsApp, yeah.
So now it's just easy. You can, if you want to FaceTime people, you can do it whenever. So
you can send everybody photos, and
Yeah.
it's obviously a lot easier, but it's still not the same as obviously seeing them in person.
No, of course.
Another one saying, has living in America as you expected, and can you see yourself staying there forever?
What do you think?
I think like you can't actually ever say I'm going to be here forever because nobody knows. Like
I could see it happening though. The only thing I'd probably potentially do maybe is in the height of the summer to maybe go somewhere else.
I know you keep saying that, but I don't like the idea of that.
Well, just
say,
like
maybe we'll go somewhere cooler for a little bit in a few years' time. And I'm like, no.
No, but when it is hot, it is really humid, isn't it? So you just
It is.
It's really hot and humid, so you sweat it quite a lot. But I mean, just for a month or two, you just go somewhere else and come back again.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we feel down the line. And yeah, I feel like you can't really say, oh, I'm going to be here forever, because obviously nobody knows what the future holds.
No, we're
So I feel like
very
that's
open-minded.
Yeah, and I feel like that's just really tricky to actually say, because obviously you can't predict the future. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So
Maybe you can. It's easy. It is easy. Sorry, to say you want to stay somewhere.
yeah, but I
you have-
definitely, for long term, I can see us being here for a very long time. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
How easy was it for your children to transition? How have you found not having family to help with kids? To be honest with you,
That's the only thing I was worried about, if I'm honest with you.
what, the kids?
Yeah, moving out with the kids and not having to start fresh with friends and how they were going to take it. That's my biggest concern.
Was that? I didn't know that. You don't tell me anything.
Well, I think it's every parent's concern when you move
Yeah.
your kids to a different country.
I mean, I'm glad we did it at the ages that the kids are now, because I think if they had been older, it probably might have been a little bit trickier.
Probably, yeah.
Because obviously, and especially like Oakley, you know, he was at his primary school for a good, 4 or 5 years. So he established really good friendships with his friends,
Yes.
and he still talks about them now, he still misses them now, which is obviously natural, but I feel like if they were any older, it probably would have been a bit trickier.
Probably would have, I agree, yeah.
And with regards to having family around to help, like, to be honest with you, we didn't...
We've always been independent like that, haven't we?
Yeah, like, not that our families never looked after them, because
No,
of
no.
course they have. You know, like, if we wanted to go away for a weekend
We
or
would
spend
just,
time
like,
just us, we would
Choose
ask
not to, we
parents,
just choose
but
to
do
do it
it-
ourselves, don't we?
that was like hardly ever. I mean, we might have done like an anniversary weekend away or a day away, or for like my birthday, something like that.
Yeah, but not very often though.
But
really.
hardly ever. So I feel like because you don't have that option out here,
Yeah.
you just kind of get used to
You
it.
should have to get on with it, don't you?
And like for us, you know, we meet up for lunch in the week when the kids are at school. Like I'll come into
It's all,
work with
it's all
you.
different, yeah. For us, it's different, yeah. We can do that every
But I
now and
actually
then.
feel like me and you spend more quality one-to-one time here than what we did in the UK. Probably only because
Yeah.
obviously the last months and stuff you were like back and forth travelling. But we actually do spend loads of time together.
Yeah, we do, yeah. Spend more time
Because
together,
people
yeah.
were like, "Oh, do you never get date nights and stuff?" But like when the kids go to bed, it's just us two anyway.
Well, so the only
So
thing is
it's-
obviously the summer holidays like now, isn't it? Because the kids are off for 13,
Yeah.
no, 12 weeks, 13 weeks.
we actually finished them a little bit earlier because my sister was here. But
It's
all
about 12 weeks
together,
in total, isn't
about 12, 13
Yeah, so
weeks.
it's 12
yeah.
weeks, so that's the only tricky thing is trying to entertain the kids for 12 weeks.
Well, I found it pretty easy. I should keep going up to Orlando with them, don't I? Go to Disney. No, I feel like, since they've been on summer holiday, we probably haven't spent as much time or like little lunch dates together, obviously because they've been with us. But apart from that,
No.
I feel like I don't crave just being with you alone, because we actually do get a lot of that time anyway.
Yeah, we do.
So that's not
It
really a
depends on
concern.
what you do for work as well, doesn't it?
And obviously, when we had Sully as well, that was obviously we had no family around then, so obviously that was kind of tricky. But luckily, we did made some good friends, and they did have Oakley and Phoebe for us.
Yes.
So that was very helpful. But I would say that so far has probably only been like the trickiest time, really, isn't it? Is when we were actually just in hospital having him.
Yes. Having Sunday to start with, and the first probably 4 to 6 months moving out here, the trickiest period.
What's like when we moved house, I was heavily pregnant.
Yeah.
You had to lift everything because we had nobody else to help us. So yeah, stuff like that's tricky. But we said next time, since living here, we've accumulated so much more stuff. We're hiring movers to help us because we literally can't do this 3 kids alone.
No.
But yeah, How easy or difficult did you find the move? I feel like we've kind of covered that, really, haven't we?
Well, it's just tricky to say bye to the family, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're driving off and you're saying bye to them, or like at the train station for us at one point, and in a taxi or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's tricky, but
that was really tricky. And as well, like, we've had all of our family here now, besides Tony's mum, which she's coming out in 2 weeks' time. But we have actually had all our family come out and visit, and I think saying goodbye to them for being out here a year was actually a lot trickier than saying goodbye to them to start with, because
I don't know. I think it's just tricky anyway. But the good thing is you spend more quality time with each
yeah,
other.
like we've had a great time. Some of the stuff we've done with them, like we would never do if we were in the UK.
No.
You know, like, you know, I went to Disney World with my sister. We hadn't been there together for like 16 years. So do you want to come?
Yeah.
So yeah, stuff like that, you know, I feel like we wouldn't really get that opportunity if we were still in the UK. But I do feel like, for me, I feel like it was harder to say bye because we had such a good time and spent so much time together when they come here, that when we said bye, I did find it really sad. But then it's like, you just got to be positive and look back and think, oh, well, we had such a great time. And
Well, yeah, there's two different things. It's depending on what you want from your life as well, doesn't it?
yeah, but all of our families left here and been like, I see why you love it. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
They've all loved it as well, so they'll definitely come back.
I don't want to grow in like 10, 15 years older and be like, I wish I tried that.
Yeah.
Rather do it, and then if it didn't work out, oh well, at least we tried it.
Well, yeah, we said we were happy to risk everything and give it a real good go for like 5 to 10 years. And then if we decided, actually, do you know what, we've had a great time, this isn't for us, we'll go back, then we would never ever regret coming out here.
No,
like
100%.
ever. But yeah. Do you enjoy living close to the beach, or would you prefer to go closer to Disney? Wow.
That's not a question for Emily to answer.
No, to be honest, I feel like I took the kids to Animal Kingdom the other day, and I was literally in Animal Kingdom parking lot by an hour and 45 minutes, and I grabbed a Starbucks on the way. So
On the way.
I feel
To start with, she wanted to move close to there, didn't you? To Disney.
Oh, well, I think
Well, you need to travel 2 hours down and 2 hours back every day to go to work.
I don't even think that's much to ask. But anyway, I don't feel a desperate urge to be like, I want to be closer to Disney, because I do feel like we've got the best of both worlds here, being like close to the beaches.
Yes. Within
And
20, 30 minutes, you've got
to
everything
be
you need.
honest, an hour and 45 minutes is nothing really, especially out here. Like, and the
Well,
drive,
yeah.
it is literally just a straight line.
In the UK, we would be like, oh, an hour and 45 minutes. Can't be bothered to do that.
Yeah, or we've got to stay overnight. I mean, to be honest, we actually do stay overnight sometimes, but
Yeah, that's what you do in Disney. It's like tiring.
yeah.
But over here, the drive's is nothing.
And it literally is just a straight line, isn't it?
Yeah, the roads are so much better. The bigger. I don't know. It's
It's really not bad. I don't feel like, I mean, sometimes I think like, oh, wouldn't it be so nice just to like quickly pop into Magic Kingdom, watch the fireworks, and then go home? Whereas obviously that would be a little bit of, like, we could do that, but it would be a bit of an effort driving that just to see the fireworks. But I am very happy where we are, and I feel like eventually we might even get like a vacation home in Orlando, and then maybe like hire it out to family and stuff. Like that might be in the pipeline in years to come.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, for now I feel really happy where we are, and I do love the location.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And I do feel like we have got the best of both worlds as well.
Yeah.
Really. How do you cope with any anxieties when you first moved and deal with missing family? So I feel like we kind of covered that a bit as well. A couple of these are quite similar, but I don't really feel like I have any anxiety about it. I feel like, so with my sister, I felt sad saying goodbye to her, and I think she felt really sad because she was like, next time I see Sully, you know, he's probably going to be running around, and she doesn't actually know when she'll be back next. And I think like when you say goodbye and there's no trips planned from either side, and you don't know when you will see them again, I think that makes you feel a bit like, oh, you know, a bit sort of not worried, but I feel, you know, I can't really like put into words, but you know what I mean, don't you?
A little bit.
And I feel like, you know, when you think, oh, I don't actually know when I'll see them again and stuff like that. But other than that, I feel like, you know, we have kind of covered that, really. Do you?
Well, for me it's different because I'm just so busy at work. My mind's always
You don't
elsewhere.
like, I'll be like, oh, are you excited to see your dad or are you excited to see your mum? And you'll be like, you don't really think about it until we're on the way to the airport.
Yeah,
do
obviously
you?
deep down I'm excited to see everyone and
yeah.
stuff, but
But
I'm
you
just
don't
so
really
sidetracked with work, that's all. I'm flying around here, there and everywhere. I'm doing different states, different countries, and then...
But yeah, you don't really think about it until it's happening, do you?
Well, I was like Sully though as well, really.
Yeah, I know you were.
That's just how I...
Just sort of cope with things.
Yeah, how I cope with things.
Yeah, you're just weird, that's why.
Thanks.
Is it easy to find work/jobs in Florida? Well, we moved out here by setting up a business, so we both have a job by doing that. So, but if you were just
anywhere, like I always say, if you want anything bad enough, you just go get it.
Yeah.
That's how I live it.
Like I can work out here being on visa.
Yeah.
So like I could just go to like the mall and get a job, and like to be honest, every shop at the mall or every takeout, whatever, like everywhere's hiring for jobs, aren't they?
I think
there's signs everywhere.
I think recently, since Trump's come in, the unemployment rate's gone down like drastically.
We're not even going to get onto the subject of that because
No,
everybody has different opinions.
Oh yeah, we
don't
don't do politics, but I'm just saying that's just the statistic apparently that unemployment's gone down quite a lot. So there's jobs everywhere.
But there is jobs everywhere.
If you want something, you just go get it.
Yeah, I do stuff for the business, but if I didn't do that and I wanted to go get a job, I could probably easily walk into a job just at like a restaurant, fast food place, shops at the mall, like retail, literally anything. I could probably just walk into it because there are so many around.
Yeah.
Do you find healthcare difficult? That's one of the things that really worries me. To be honest, when we went in and set up our healthcare, even the guy who worked there said he'd lived here for 20 plus years. He was also English, yeah. And he said he still didn't understand it, and he literally worked for the company. So,
yeah.
And all the Americans you talk to, nobody seems to fully understand it. So I think that's going to be something that takes us a long, long time to fully get our head round. We kind of like get the gist.
They just give you options.
It's just confusing,
it includes
isn't
X,
it?
Y, Z or whatever, and you're like,
so
okay.
we're with like a certain company, and if I needed like an X-ray or to see a doctor or some sort of specialist, I could type in. So you have like an app, or you set it up on your iPad, whatever. Type in what sort of doctor you need, and then it would come up with ones that are in your area that would accept your insurance. So then you just kind of go for it that way. And then you have like deductibles and stuff like that. Like it's probably a huge topic, and I probably need to learn more about it to actually do a video. So I can only speak about.
To ask,
yeah,
we just You just, let's say, you just go in and choose your package kind of thing, what's included and whatnot. And then that's pretty much it.
Also prices of healthcare is like different for, obviously, if people have additional needs, stuff like that, then you'll have a completely different package to what we have. So, you know, it's all different. I can't even really speak much about it because I really don't know, to be honest with you. What type of visa do you have? So we are on an E2 investor visa, which there's two different routes for the E2. You can either buy an existing business or you can invest and open up your own. That's what we did. Can't speak about buying a business because obviously that's not the route that we took, but for us, that's what we've done. And we get a 5-year visa. At the end of the 5 years, if we're going and we're sticking to our business plan and it's going well, then we can just carry on and extend for another 5, basically. So that's what visa we're on. Another one about health insurance. Someone said, can you sponsor me so I can move out, please? Wish we could do that for everybody, but you can't.
It's hard because when we're classed as a non-resident alien, you can't hire other non-resident aliens that easily.
I have
to be, the whole idea of on an investor E2 is you have to hire Americans.
Yeah.
Part of it, that's very, very important.
Yeah, so I have had loads of messages, people saying, please can you sponsor me? Can I get a job at your business? Do you need any staff the end of next year? Blah, blah, blah. I've had so many emails and I wish I could, but I can't. Sorry.
And plus it's me that hires, not Emily.
Yeah. Is the cost of living cheaper than the UK? So I actually really feel like this varies. So I think when we first moved here, you look at the prices of things and you think, wow, that's expensive, but you're in dollars now, you're not in pounds.
Yes.
So I feel like
I found that the hardest thing as well.
that comparing,
But
you think,
also you get bigger quantities.
yeah, a lot of the stuff is bulk
Like when you
buy.
get like grapes, even grapes for example, they're
Yeah,
bigger.
but grapes you pay by the pound.
No, but what I'm saying is when they come in, they're bigger than what you normally would get when they come in the packaged box.
Yeah, whatever. Like, for instance, you can buy a box of Belvita cereal bars, but you're not going to get like your standard 6 packet or 8 packet like you do in the UK. You get like 36.
Yeah.
So you might think, wow,
Go big or
$15,
go home in
$20.
America.
Yeah. You might think like, wow, $15, $20 for some cereal bars, but actually they're going to last you about 2 months, depending obviously how much you eat. But yeah, everything is like bulk buy, isn't it? Really.
It is, yeah.
So like we bought toilet paper ages ago and we've still got so much up there. So at the time you might think, wow, $35 or however much it is, but actually we haven't had to buy it for so long.
It ends up being virtually the same.
And like
Really?
our trash bags as well, it was a box of 200. I'm still using the same box of trash bags that I bought when we first moved in a year ago.
I mean, it ends up being about the same price, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then obviously like fuel's cheap here. Our car insurance is quite expensive, so I think
Only
it just
because
sort of
you're new.
we're classed as a new
We're
driver,
classed as a brand new driver, so you have to pay more.
but it sort of like equals out really, doesn't it? And I feel like, you know, it might be cheaper or it might be more expensive, but then you earn more. Like it just kind of equals out really. So that's kind of that one. Okay, next question. How you got your visa? My boyfriend and I want to move to Florida but don't know how. Well, that's what we did. I feel like so many people just think, oh, I'll get sponsored by a company, but I feel like that's so rare for that to happen these days.
They've made it harder now.
Yeah.
But the best thing to do is just go get an immigration lawyer and ask for some advice.
Yeah, just go speak to an
Everyone's
attorney.
different. We can't advise.
See your options. Yeah, we can only really speak about what we did. And
Yeah.
originally we spoke to a lady immigration lawyer, didn't we, who was from here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we felt like, we just didn't feel too comfortable with her. So then we found a different one who was great. I mean, I would happily recommend our lawyer if anybody wants to message or anything. I would happily give his email out, and then you could source that information for yourself. But like Tony said, everybody's different, so you might have a different route to what we had. So I can't really say for that or how you could get one because I don't know. Is he dreaming?
Yeah.
Bless him, he's so cute.
He's such a good boy.
Has anything surprised you, good or bad?
No. What are you?
I'm asking you first.
I can't really think.
Anything surprised you?
Not I can think of. No, what are you?
Anything, or like any things that are good that you feel like, oh, actually, that's loads better here.
Just life in general.
Well, yeah, and drive through everything.
Yeah.
So
No, just life in general for me. I feel happy out here. Feel myself.
I feel like we do as a family. Like we just feel like we belong, don't we?
Yeah. I'm a lot more relaxed out here.
Yeah, definitely.
Even
though
though I'm
work
working
is
a lot
crazy.
But I'm just I feel a lot more relaxed.
Yeah,
More enjoyable.
it is definitely. Bless him.
Mm-hmm.
What's a dreaming?
Even having Sully, which we wasn't expecting.
No, but it's been the best, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
he's been great, and he's been a great boy.
Oh, he is really good. He's nearly 3 months old
I
now,
know.
which is actually crazy. So, like, we've been here for a year, and in that time, built the business up, had a baby. He's now 3 months old.
I know,
Second
it's
house, like,
ridiculous.
it's crazy, isn't it? Kids have already done their first full year at American school, like, crazy. Yeah, surprised me, good or bad. I feel like, yeah, maybe to start with, surprising how much of a pain in the ass everything was to set up.
Oh, yeah, that, I agree with you there. That was ridiculous.
The American, like, they're so good at, you know, there's drive-through everything, even like cash machine, there's a drive-through ATM, there's drive-through pharmacy, there's drive-through
So I think they're really practical, they do
smoothies,
things really
this, that,
well.
this,
Then
yeah.
other things that are really simple, they just don't even do at all, and you're like...
you
Even
can-
Apple Pay sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh, don't I accept Apple Pay and Walmart?
Yeah, some
And Walmart are so far behind at the times.
It's crazy.
But then, like, so when we went to Atlanta, it was really cold, and we needed to obviously buy the kids coats because we didn't have them, we were living in Florida. So I ordered Oakley a coat from Dick's Sporting Goods, pulled up in my car, and they brought the coat out to my car. Like, where would you ever get that? Stuff like that is amazing. You can literally order, get anything delivered to your house, literally whatever, but setting up stuff, they just go the long way around stuff, and it was a nightmare.
So annoying. Like, you can do one thing without
We
having
had
another
to-
thing, but then you can do that thing without having another thing. You're like, oh, how can I get that then?
I
Doesn't make
know.
sense.
And like with the whole credit thing as well, we can't. They're obsessed with credit over here. You have to build up your credit score. So you think, oh, I'll go and get like a scorecard, something. start building it
Yeah,
up.
no, we can't get
Sorry,
that.
you can't have that. You've got no credit. Well, how are we supposed to build credit if we
They
got?
just start you at zero, so brand new.
Yeah. So stuff like that, I would feel that was quite
That's
surprising.
the hardest period, 100%.
Yeah.
First, was it about 4
And
6
like
months?
we had to set up a social security number so that we could get a bank account, but then we had to wait 10 days for the number to come through the mail, so that we had to wait extra time to be able to set up our accounts. And then like it was just everything was just like,
So-
oh, another 10 days here, another 2 weeks here, like
Yeah.
that was and then registering the kids for school at one point felt
Trying
like
to do
it was
driving
never
lessons,
going to
and there's
happen.
a hurricane coming through, right in the middle.
Yeah, so we were trying to, so you have to like book your theory. You're supposed to, within the first 6 weeks of living here, get your driver's license, which is crazy when you can come here on vacation, hire a car for like 90 days and it's all good. But here, you got to get you. So trying to book that, and
Oh
then
my, that
hurricane
I hate that
come.
place so much.
Tony had to go there probably about 50 times.
Oh, it used to drive me nuts.
And then it was asking, so I did mine like 3 times. And at one point it was asking me about like towing. Well, I've never towed anything in my life, so I have no idea. I've also, the first time I ever drove to America was when we lived here. I never drove when we used to come here on vacation, Tony did. So it's just, that sort of thing I think was very surprising because we had to go the long way around everything.
Yes.
And that was,
Be prepared for that. That's
Yeah.
the one thing I'd say. Be,
I feel like we
be
need to do
prepared
a
for.
video like more detailed into all of that
Yeah.
at another time. That could be its own separate thing because it was a nightmare.
Yes.
But I feel like that probably was the most surprising because it was a pain.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else
Absolutely
is great. Let's see what else there is. Don't think there's too many more.
All the thunder, random thunder you get sometimes. Like that one the other night.
Yeah, that was.
Oh my
we had a
Lord.
thunderstorm and my parents were here, and even they were like, "I have never heard anything so loud in all my
The
life."
whole house was rattling and the glass
The walls
was
were
shaking.
shaking.
Yeah. Oh.
And it was to the point.
It was
there
so
lightning.
bright that the whole sky in the house was just lighting up.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
like even when you close your eyes, it was like 3 o'clock in the
I was
morning.
looking at the
wasn't it?
blinds, like looking out, and I was just poking my head through, and then it would go off, and then you know when you turn back round, you've got a bright light in your eye, and you turn around and you're blinking, and all you can see is just light. I was so confused.
Well,
where
I
was.
kept thinking, oh, I'll try to go back to sleep, but even when your eyes were closed, you could see the flash.
Yeah,
Like it was crazy,
oh,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
it was.
And the power went out for about an hour as well. School transitions, how to know which area. Well, for us, we're actually in rented at the minute just because we're not 100% sure on where we want to be, although we feel like we're gradually
I'd recommend
figuring it
just doing
out.
that if you first come out, is renting.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be stuck in an area that you don't like.
So he's having such big dreams, isn't he?
Mhm.
Aw. Yeah, so we
It's on
kind
tickets
of.
back.
Oh, are you? That's why he's really ticklish. So you tickle him, he starts fidgeting. Yeah, so we ended up just going with the school that was like 5 minutes away from our house, but actually turns out it's a brilliant
It's a
school.
good school, yeah. Oh, we
really
did a little bit
high
of research. Though. We
rated.
didn't just go, That's
Oh yeah,
close,
that's
let's go
nearby. Yeah, but
No,
there
we did do
are
research.
there are catchment areas out here as well, very much like the UK. So obviously you were still limited, really, from where you were living.
You just have to plan that and look into that in a little bit detail, research the school and the area and stuff.
Yeah, but we did our research of the area we were in, sourced out which one we thought was the best, and we went with that. And it just so happens it's a very good school. The kids settled well and they really like it, don't they? And
They do,
Oakley actually said today he's looking forward to going back and starting 5th grade. So
Yes,
that was really
which is
nice to hear.
Yeah, definitely.
And that just sort of like clarifies it, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of how we figured out an area. But like I said, there is sort of like catchment areas, a little bit like the UK. So you are sort of limited. And when we moved, we're actually 25 minutes north,
From what?
where we were.
North.
We're 25 minutes north from where we were. So
Yeah.
I didn't bother changing the school address just because I don't want to have to pull them out of somewhere where they've just settled, when really Oakley's only got 1 year of elementary left.
Yeah, we don't want to move them again and have that hassle.
No. And I think
new friends again, so
we'll try and keep them there until we have got somewhere
yes.
and we know that this is where we're going to be for like quite some time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Oakley's only got 1 more year of elementary, so we're going to stick with that, and they do like it. So that's kind of how we know the areas, really. And another one saying, what's been the biggest adjustment apart from missing family and friends? I would say food.
Yes. Food is the other one.
That was the biggest adjustment
It was,
apart
yeah.
from family and
So
friends.
much dyes in the food out here, isn't there? So you have to be
It's
careful
like
what
red
you're eating.
40. You got to do your research, really. But in the UK, you know, obviously, like the kids have sweets, stuff
You
like
take for
that.
granted
Like,
what the European standards compared to out here, don't you?
whereas here, it's actually crazy in there.
It is,
Even
literally.
stuff like chocolate cake.
Yeah.
There's red 40. Like,
Or cranberry juice.
do your own research on red 40. Obviously, everybody's different, but for kids, it sends them a bit crazy, you know.
Yes.
Especially if they have additional needs, stuff like that. Like, I probably wouldn't advise giving it to them because it will send them crazy. But we don't let our kids have it, so they don't eat sweets out here.
Well, they know what to look out for now as well, don't they? So
They do,
they
yeah.
check the labels themselves.
So we
just
do
to make
read
sure.
the labels on everything. But like even, you know, chocolate cake or white marshmallows,
It depends
and
where you shop and
cranberry juice,
what you're having as well, doesn't it?
yeah, all that sort of stuff has dyes in, like stuff that you wouldn't think.
Yeah, it's mad.
Like, why does a chocolate cake need dye in it? You know what I mean? It should just be cocoa powder, surely. But anyway, it's America.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's been the biggest adjustment. Like, we would absolutely kill for an English breakfast.
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
we?
I'd go for a fry. I'm actually thinking about having one when I fly back. Actually, I will be able to.
That's not fair.
I'm
Tony's-
definitely going to send you
Tony's
videos.
flying to Saudi, so he'd already been to Saudi earlier on in the year, but he's going to Saudi on Thursday, but it's actually quicker for you to go from Tampa to London than London to Saudi,
Yes,
isn't
I'd say
it?
about 5-6 hours.
And
so-
I was sat there the other day and I went, oh, there's an M&S food hall in the airport.
So I've got a list from Oakley and Phoebe of what items and snacks they want me to bring back in my
Phoebe
suitcase.
wants like Smarties, Skittles.
I've got 2 suitcases
Magic
and Phoebe's asked me to bring
Stars.
1 suitcase back of just snacks.
Yeah. And like,
Which
they-
I'm not doing, by the way.
Why not?
No whole suitcase.
No, that would cost you a small fortune in
yeah,
an
it
airport.
would be, yeah.
But like the kids miss What's-Its, Quavers, you know, they do have Skittles here, but they got the dyes in, whereas in the UK they don't. So they want like Skittles, and they just, yeah, they've
And
got a
it's
little list
few
together,
small
haven't
things,
they?
Yeah. Which I pick up.
I just want some Dairy Milk.
I'm so
chocolate
excited about that Friday. I
buttons.
didn't even think about that.
That's just not fair. And they've got Nando's in the airport. We tried a Nando's in Atlanta, didn't we? And it was not the same. It was terrible.
Can we bring you one of them back?
No, I thought it'd be a bit gross. But yeah, we got really excited. We were like, you're going to have M&S food hall in the airport and all the English snacks. So we're like, try and get as much as you can. And your mum's coming out in 2 weeks' time, isn't
Yes,
she?
bring
Just
some
when
more
you get
snacks
back. So I'm going to send her a little list. But I definitely miss M&S food hall. Like, if you know, you know. It's just the best.
It is, yeah.
But oh, those crisps as well. Those, you know, them honey
Oh yeah, they're nice.
barbecue, sun bites, sweet
No.
chili sun. Oh
We
my
don't really eat crisps
god,
out
I
here anymore,
can't.
do we?
No,
Or chips.
chip. I can't even think about it, so I'll just write a massive list.
You've literally just imprinted that fry up in my head now.
I know. We would love. Apparently, there's a British pub in Orlando, and apparently the food's actually really good.
I've had one not far away when I was out here on my own when I went to watch Arsenal play. When I went to that pub, it's not really somewhere I'd go.
What was the food rating?
Food was alright.
Was it like a 2?
The inside was a bit like.
That's what I mean. What was the food rating? I bet if you read it up now, you would never eat there again.
Probably. At the time, it was great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the food. Definitely the food. Like, I really feel like before we moved out here, we didn't make the most of the food. Probably because we just didn't really think about it.
No.
Like, when you come here, and it's funny, I was saying to my sister when she was here, when you come here on vacation, you're like, oh, Denny's, IHOP, like you love all them sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When you live here,
No,
they
don't.
are the trashiest places to go. Like you wouldn't, I wouldn't dare step foot and eat in there now because you'd just be like, ugh.
Yeah.
You just find
It's better to
so
have
much nicer places.
the individual
restaurants rather than like the chain.
Yeah.
Like we don't eat McDonald's out here, but I would absolutely love.
Only because it's not real chicken and stuff.
McDonald's. Yeah,
It's
but is
horrendous.
it even real chicken in the UK, really?
Well, it definitely looks like it and tastes like it.
It tastes
Out
nicer,
here, it's
but...
like chewing my shoe.
And you wear trainers.
Yeah, I was coming back from. Where was it? I was in Texas coming back, and I was running late, and I had to run. And the only thing I could pick up was some McDonald's. I picked up some chicken strips, and they were the worst things ever.
Would have just been better.
If I threw it on the floor, I'd probably bounce up and hit the ceiling.
Yeah, but McDonald's would probably do that anyway.
It was so chewy. I'm like chewing it. And I
love the quarter pounder. It just doesn't exist out here, and I love a quarter pounder from the UK Macca's.
Probably because you have 5 patties in it out here.
No, it just doesn't exist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The only thing I would have from McDonald's probably is a Diet Coke if I was absolutely desperate and so thirsty on a drive and I needed to pick one up or something. But other than that,
we just have a Panda Express instead. That's the food that we have.
We do like Panda Express. Did eat it quite a lot when I was pregnant, but I feel like I just don't really want it much now. I go through phases where I'm like, oh my god, that's so nice, I need to eat it 10 times, and then I'm like, I had enough of it, don't want it.
Yeah. And I'm just following behind like, well, what we're going to eat now then?
But yeah, I feel like food's probably definitely the biggest, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you are planning on moving out here or you're in the process of doing it, stock up on your snacks and your food because you're going to want it.
Yes.
I think I've still got some gravy granules in there from the UK. Oh, some stock cubes. That would be good. I need to write you a list.
Write me a list, I'll bring it back.
I do. And your mum. His mum actually works at Marks and Spencer's, so I'm going to be getting a real nice list from there. But yeah, I feel like that's the main thing we miss besides friends and family. Really, that's like the biggest thing.
More questions?
I don't know. I feel like we actually have covered all the questions I got asked. Yeah, I feel like we've covered everything really. So yeah, that was kind of like our little 1-year anniversary of living here. We'll come back on again soon and obviously go through that whole what you need when you first move here, and cover all of that because that's like...
We'll go in a little bit more detail, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we need to because I feel like it would be really helpful for people who are
because
doing it or in the process.
If you're in the process of doing it, definitely try and reach out or comment down below and stuff, and Emily and myself will try and help out because we come out here and had no help whatsoever, did we?
No, and I just
we
feel like...
we had to learn the hard way also, so if we can try and help you in a certain way to try and be prepared, then we'll definitely do that for sure, because it's tricky when you're on your own walking around kind of like, well, where do you go? You're just
going like pillar to post.
Well, they tell you, well, you need to do X, you need to have X, Y, Z, and you're like, well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, they're like,
can you tell us what that is?
And we're like, I don't even know what that is. Sorry, could you tell me? And then they look at you like,
you're stupid.
What?
Yeah. Why do you not know what that is?
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like we definitely need to go into the further detail of that, and then we will go through and do another one as well, discussing our plans for the rest of the year, because there's still quite a lot going on, and like things that we've got
There's
planned.
some crazy plans this year.
Crazy plans. But yeah, for now, you're off to Saudi on Thursday, aren't you, for 9 or 10 days?
10 days.
And I thought it was 9.
I'm going 2 countries.
It's getting longer and longer. You back in the UK with your fryer.
That's why. I know.
Yeah. and then I'm gonna do a couple of days here, book for a couple of days in Orlando with the kids, go up to Disney, meet some of our friends up there, and then come back down here, and then he'll be home then, and then your mum literally comes out 2 days later. And then we're going to go back up to Orlando the week after.
Oh, jeez.
Magic Kingdom, Volcano Bay and Universal
great
Studios with them.
But just now I'm going to be so tired.
You will, but
because I'll have like jet lag from
drink
8
more
hour
coffee
difference.
from your new machine and you'll be alright.
I just literally thought, I've just clocked on now, I've got 6 flights to do in 10 days.
Rather you than me.
Yeah, gee.
I'm just going to be living up at Disney.
I'm just snuggle with Sully and go to sleep. Can't we, mate?
Yeah, you'll need a few naps when you get back. But yeah, that's sort of...
Comment down below if there's anything else that we can try and help out or advise
Yeah, we're
on.
more than happy to answer any questions that you have, or like, don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well. We're the same name as what we are on here. And also, if you want to see, like, I'm starting to do like more day-to-day kind of things and like just helpful little things over on TikTok as well. But my old TikTok got hacked, which is very annoying, and I can't get back into it. So I've set up a new one that I am trying to build up, and it's the same name as this, but with a 0 on the end. So go along and see what we're up to on there as well, and we'll be back soon with the next vlog.
Well, yeah, we do have the potential of doing podcasts as well, don't we? What we're thinking about.
Yeah, we are.
Because I have a podcast studio now who've made it work, so we're thinking about maybe if that'd be beneficial to do a podcast style.
Well, we thought maybe get a couple of the Orlando girls to come down and do like a
and
podcast
try and help out.
all
Yeah,
together.
definitely. What do you guys think? Just let us know down below if you think a podcast style video would be beneficial or not.
Yeah.
We're trying to do. What we want to do is try and give high value content to help you guys out as much as possible. If you are thinking of if you are moving out here.
Yeah. I think that's it for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's our sort of 1 year of living here video. Hopefully it was helpful and we answered some of the questions that you guys had. And yeah, we'll be back with the next one hopefully in a few weeks.
Yeah,
But
very
you
soon.
know what I'm like.
You do know what you're like.
We'll be back when we're back, alright? Thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye.